Welcome to Wisdom Literature Publishing, where I revive wisdom literature one stanza at a time. Today we are talking about fear. In 2020, the news said, COVID is coming on your neighbor's hands. In time, the evidence we lack love is revealed across all our lands. In 1950, Sister Mary Truckee said, "Fear is faith, it won't work out. In time, self-fulfilling prophecies might break our fear if we shared an honest doubt." In 1890, Mary Curry said, "Now is the time to understand so that we may fear less. In time, our knowledge of germs will improve and good will come from this COVID mess." In 1940, FDR said, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." In time, their world war became just another story on a shelf. In 1340, they sang, "Ring around the rosy, pockets full of posies, ashes, ashes, we all fall down." In time, even the Black Death no longer harms a single town. In the 1990s, Emerson wrote, "Fear defeats more people in the world than any one thing." In time, more industries now capitalize off fear so long as we dance to the tune they sing. In 2000, Jim Seymour said, "Y2K will be the biggest crisis we face in our lifetime. In time, each century just carries over the same corruption and petty crime." In 1962, Alistair Horn said, "Doomsday Week was the closest the world has come to nuclear holocaust. In time, the missiles in Cuba have collected enough rust for us to still keep our fingers crossed." In Noah's days, they said, only a fool would build a boat on dry land. In time, the deck of that boat was the only dry place on earth to stand. In the 1950s, Glasso wrote, "Fear is the lengthened shadow of ignorance. In time, the things we don't understand are sure to create evil indifference." At 20 AD, Gamaliel warned, "If their purpose is of human origin, it will fail." In time, the name they feared remains the capstone of faith that will prevail. In Japan, a proverb says, "Fear is only as deep as the mind allows." In time, even a captive wolf can be trained to fear dairy cows. In 1850, Samuel Butler said, "Fear is static that prevents me from hearing myself." In time, fear will turn our destiny into a dusty book on an untouched bookshelf. In an unknown year, a man wrote, "Feed your faith and your fears will starve to death." In time, faith unmasks the shadows hiding in the dark that would feed off our breath. In 1894, Kipling wrote, "Of all the liars in the world, sometimes the worst are our own fears. In time, it becomes obvious we are the ones veiling our own eyes and denying our tears." In 50 AD, the Apostle John taught, "Perfect love casts out fear. He who fears is not made perfect in love." In time, everything that causes fear and grief will be wiped away like a gardener changing his worn glove. In 2020, the news said, "COVID is coming on your neighbor's hands." In time, the evidence we lack love is revealed across all our lands. Most fears are considered to be normal until they interfere with our daily lives. But who would intentionally let the treacherous walk behind them with knives? Most fears are considered harmless if we don't mind being a puppet on strings. But who would intentionally become slaves when they were born to be kings? There are two kinds of fear. One is rational and the other is irrational. Rational fear stimulates our fight or flight response and is situational, but even our justified fears can be exaggerated or disproportional. But even while we win or survive, we become creatures instinctual. Irrational fear turns on a cowardly autopilot that has no off switch, but even an illusionary fear becomes real enough to make us twitch. Fearful habits are strengthened by our scratching of each cowardly itch. Every fear known to man is just a symptom that love is lacking. Love for neighbors whose lives consist of ceaseless ransacking. The purpose of fear is to train our cowardly hearts in courage so we can be refined and learn to cast out our heart's garbage